R.I.P. Drew. Are we finally saying good riddance to General Hospital's nastiest bad guy? Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Following the publication of Drew's book, How to Lose Friends and Adversely Influence People, it was only a matter of time before the General Hospital scuzzbag was used for target by practice by one of his victims in gun-crazy Port Charles. While we're pretty sure we figured out who done it, what remains to be determined is whether whoever did it well enough to send the villain to his grave. Even though Drew was shot not once but twice, read the full recap here, it is possible that he will pull through. After all, pretty much everyone on General Hospital has taken a bullet now and then and lived to tell the tale. In fact, we wouldn't be surprised if Drew not only survived but used his injury to try to make folks feel sorry for him. To quote Chappell Roan, "Good luck, babe." If Drew went that route though, we wonder who would even lift a finger to help if he wakes up paralyzed after being struck in the spine. Portia sure wouldn't. Elizabeth is decidedly #Team Willow. Lucas detests him. Even Isaiah wouldn't want to play doctor, knowing the shambles the patient has made of Portia's life. Maybe, despite her protestations, Willow will wind up in charge of Drew's care and seize the opportunity to go all Kathy Bates in misery, making his recovery as slow and painful as possible. After his reign of terror, we might actually pay to see that. For months, General Hospital viewers have been locked in a storm of divided feelings about Drew Cain, a man once celebrated as a heroic Navy SEAL and long-lost Quartermain, only to fall from grace in one of the most shocking spirals ever witnessed in Port Charles. His journey has left fans questioning whether the character they once rooted for has become unrecognizable, and if his rumored end is less a tragedy and more a welcome relief. Drew's supposed death, whether permanent or yet another soap opera trick, has sparked heated debate across fan forums, social media threads, and even among cast interviews, making it one of the most polarizing storylines on daytime television today. Some mourn his exit as a waste of potential, while others are openly relieved to see his reign of manipulation, betrayal, and hypocrisy come to a close. To fully understand why Drew's downfall feels so final, and why fans are split between grief and celebration, we need to trace his arc from his heroic beginnings to his villainous end and explore what this means for the Quartermain dynasty, for Port Charles at large, and for the future of General Hospital. Drew Cain's early days on General Hospital painted him as a man of integrity. Introduced with the mystery of Jason Morgan's twin identity, he became an instant focal point of family and romantic entanglements. He was Sam's second chance at love, Scout's doting father, and Monica's long-lost son, who could finally fill the void left by decades of Quartermain dysfunction. For a time, Drew was even framed as the antithesis to Jason, the moral compass who wouldn't compromise his values. Fans embraced him not just as a soldier returned from the shadows, but as a symbol of hope for Monica, who has buried too many children, and as a steady figure in Sam's turbulent life. But daytime soaps thrive on complexity, and heroes often walk the line toward villainy when their flaws consume them. In Drew's case, the descent has been as tragic as it has been infuriating. The turning point came not in a single moment, but in a gradual layering of questionable choices. First came his bitterness toward Jason, a sibling rivalry that should have healed with time, but only festered into resentment. Then came his entanglements in schemes that betrayed the very people he'd once swore to protect. The Quartermain saw a man who began manipulating family business interests under the guise of protecting ELQ, while his allies saw someone who used loyalty as a bargaining chip instead of a sacred bond. Fans began to notice that the so-called hero's words rarely matched his actions, and soon Drew was painted less as a man of principle and more as a man driven by ego, greed, and a hunger for power. By the time Drew became entangled in the darker sides of Port Charles politics and mob dealings, his fall from grace was complete. He weaponized secrets, betrayed confidences, and even stooped to using his daughter as leverage in his vendettas. Characters who once trusted him found themselves burned, from Carly to Sam to Michael, and the audience's sympathy waned with each new betrayal. Social media lit up with fans, labeling him the nastiest bad guy, not because he was an outright mobster like Sonny or a megalomaniac like Cyrus Renault, but because his betrayal came wrapped in hypocrisy. Drew never admitted to being a villain. He justified every ruthless act as if he was still the same man who once fought for truth and honor. That duplicity made him harder to forgive, and in some ways, more dangerous. So when word began to spread that Drew's arc might finally be coming to an end, reactions were mixed but intense. The hashtags #GoodRiddanceDrew and #JusticeForDrew trended simultaneously, reflecting the polarizing effect he's had on viewers. Some fans felt robbed of a redemption arc, pointing out that Drew's military background and Quatermain ties offered plenty of opportunities for a heroic comeback. Others argued that the damage was irreparable, that no amount of redemption could undo the years of manipulations, betrayals, and emotional carnage he left in his wake. To them, Drew's death isn't a tragedy, it's a cleansing. Within the fictional world of Port Charles, Drew's exit leaves a trail of consequences. Monica is once again faced with burying another child, and her grief could ripple through the Quatermain family in explosive ways. Sam, whose life has already been uprooted by loss after loss, may find herself reckoning with what she truly felt for Drew, and whether she dodged a bullet by being free of him now. Carly, who invested trust and resources into Drew only to be repeatedly betrayed, could be painted as vindicated in her suspicions. And then there's Michael, who often clashed with Drew in matters of business and loyalty. His role in carrying ELQ forward without Drew's interference could redefine the family legacy. Each of these threads opens new doors for storylines while closing the chaotic chapter Drew represented. From a storytelling perspective, Drew's arc underscores General Hospital's willingness to blur the lines between hero and villain. Soaps thrive on redemption, but they also thrive on downfall, and Drew's demise illustrates how quickly a fan favorite can transform into a pariah. Some argue that the writers took a gamble in tarnishing Drew's image so thoroughly, but the payoff has been undeniable. Audiences are engaged, debating, and emotionally invested, whether they're cheering or jeering. In the crowded landscape of daytime drama, sparking that level of conversation is no small feat. Of course, this being General Hospital, death is never final. Fans know that characters rise from the grave with alarming frequency, and rumors already swirl that Drew's exit could be temporary. Speculation ranges from body doubles and faked deaths to brainwashing storylines and international cover-ups. If Drew does return, the question becomes whether he comes back as a man redeemed or as an even darker version of himself. Can the character survive another attempt at rehabilitation, or has the damage to his reputation with fans and within the narrative already crossed the point of no return? For now, though, viewers are left with the aftermath. The soap community is abuzz with think pieces, fan podcasts, and Twitter threads dissecting every line of Drew's last scenes. Was his end fitting for the man he became, or was it an unjust send-off for a character who once meant so much to General Hospital's legacy? The debate itself may be Drew's ultimate contribution, forcing fans to grapple with the uncomfortable truth that sometimes heroes fall, and sometimes we're not sad to see them go. If this is truly the end for Drew Cain, his story will stand as one of the most complex arcs in recent General Hospital history. From hero to villain, from cherished son to despised manipulator, from symbol of hope to symbol of hypocrisy, Drew's journey is a cautionary tale about the fragility of reputation and the inevitability of consequences. Whether you mourn him or celebrate his departure, one thing is undeniable. Drew Cain left an impact on Port Charles and on its viewers that won't soon be forgotten. Rest in peace, or perhaps good riddance. Either way, the shadow he cast will linger long after he's gone. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.